Welcome back, everyone. We're diving into something I think a lot of you will find pretty fascinating. Dog intelligence.
Should be interesting.
You see those top 10 smartest dog breeds lists all the time, right?
Yeah, they're everywhere.
So we're going to really dig into what makes certain breeds stand out, intelligence-wise.
Definitely. And it's more than just, learning a bunch of tricks. It's about the way they think, the way they solve problems.
Exactly. And we have some really cool examples from actual research to share. Like, did you know Papillons, those tiny little dogs, can master some pretty complex tasks?
It's pretty amazing, yeah. And then you have Australian cattle dogs, which are practically born problem solvers.
It's incredible what these dogs are capable of.
But, and this is really important, just because a breed isn't on the top 10 list doesn't mean they aren't smart.
Right. Every dog is intelligent in their own way. Every dog can learn.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's get to the list, starting with the top dog. Literally. The Border Collie. I mean, they're basically the poster child for working dogs.
And that herding instinct, where they're moving a whole flock of sheep, it translates to some serious problem-solving skills.
So I'm picturing a Border Collie owner. They probably can't just take their dog for a casual walk around the block and call it a day, right?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of activities would really challenge a Border Collie mentally?
Oh, definitely. They need more than just a stroll. Things like agility training are fantastic. You've got physical exercise plus, mental puzzles built in.
That makes sense. Keeps them engaged.
Exactly. And scent work, where they have to use their nose to find things. That's another great one.
Like giving them a job to do. Makes sense with that whole herding background, right?
Totally.
All right, number 2 on the list, the poodle. And that includes all the sizes, standard, miniature, toy poodles.
Right, all of them.
I always thought of poodles as more the beauty queen breed, but apparently they're super smart too.
Oh, yeah. They're incredibly intelligent. And what makes them really stand out is they're so eager to please.
So that translates into being really trainable.
Absolutely. Obedience, agility, really any activity that gets their brains working, they excel at it.
So it's not just going through the motions for them. They actually want to figure out what you want them to do.
Exactly. That kind of motivation makes a huge difference.
Okay, next up at number 3, we've got the German Shepherd. Not a big surprise there.
Not at all. They're, famous for being working dogs.
Right. Police work, search and rescue, so many different roles.
And it's their intelligence that makes them so successful. Learning complex commands, staying focused, even in stressful situations.
You know what's interesting, though? I was reading about this German Shepherd named Max, super smart dog, but he kept getting into all sorts of trouble.
Oh, why?
Because he wasn't properly trained. It really shows how crucial those early lessons are, especially for a breed like that, so powerful and capable.
Definitely. Early socialization, consistent training, super important for any dog, but especially for German Shepherds.
Yeah.
Just because of those strong instincts they have.
Right. Makes sense. Okay, moving on to number 4, the Golden Retriever. I feel like everyone knows a Golden Retriever.
They're so popular.
And for good reason, right? Friendly, loving.
And intelligent.
They're not just cute, they've got brains. So if someone's listening and they have Golden Retriever at home, how can they keep their dog mentally stimulated? Aside from all the cuddles, of course.
Well, they love to retrieve, so anything that plays into that, like fetch.
Oh, yeah, classic.
Or even those scent-based games. You hide treats, and they have to use their nose to find them.
Fun for them and keeps them thinking.
And don't underestimate obedience training. Even basic commands can be mentally stimulating if you make it engaging for them.
It's all about making it fun. All right, rounding out the top 5, we've got the Doberman Pinscher. I'll be honest, I've always found them a little intimidating, but I'm curious to learn more about their intelligence.
They're often misunderstood because they're, bred for protection.
Yeah.
But underneath that, tough exterior is a really sharp mind.
So they're not just muscle, they've got the brains to back it up.
Exactly. They're focused, capable of doing some really complex tasks.
Impressive. But I'm guessing they're not the easiest breed to train.
They definitely need an owner who's, confident, experienced, someone who can be firm but fair.
So you can't let them walk all over you.
Right. They need that structure, that sense of purpose. Otherwise, all that intelligence and energy can go in the wrong direction.
All right, let's move on to number 6, the Shetland Sheepdog, better known as the Sheltie. They're small, but they're definitely not lacking in the brains department.
Absolutely not. Shelties are incredibly smart, and they're eager to please, which, like we said, makes a big difference in training.
And it's no surprise, considering their background, right? Herding sheep, they had to think on their feet, make decisions independently.
Exactly. So what kind of activities would you recommend for a Sheltie owner? Anything that really challenges their mind?
Oh, tons of options. Agility courses, obedience training, herding trials if you want to tap into those natural instincts.
All great choices, as long as it keeps them engaged, both mentally and physically.
Coming in at number 7, another super popular breed, the Labrador Retriever. Labs are just known for being so friendly and loving, but there's clearly a lot more to them than just that.
Oh, definitely. Their intelligence is a big part of why they're so successful as guide dogs, search and rescue dogs.
Wow, yeah, those are some pretty demanding jobs.
They're quick learners, eager to please, and they have this amazing ability to connect with people.
So it's more than just, fetching tennis balls.
Much more. They need mental stimulation, too. Puzzle toys, scent work, learning new tricks. It all helps keep their minds sharp.
Right, number 8 on the list might surprise some people, the Papillon. Now, I'll admit I mostly think of them as adorable lap dogs, but apparently they've got a lot going on upstairs.
They do. They're super smart, surprisingly agile, too. And they often do really well in agility competitions, obedience trials, even complex trick training. It's amazing.
I'm picturing a tiny dog doing backflips and solving Rubik's Cubes.
Maybe not that advanced, but they definitely defy expectations. It really shows that you should never underestimate a dog, no matter the breed or size.
That's a great point. All right, moving on to number 9, the Rottweiler. They've got a reputation for being, powerful, protective. But what about their intelligence?
Rottweilers are incredibly smart. They can learn a wide range of commands and tasks. And they're loyal, willing to please. So if you channel that correctly, they can be really trainable.
But I imagine, like with Dobermans, you need to be a pretty confident owner to handle them.
Definitely. They need structure, purpose. Their intelligence shines when they have a job to do.
Yeah.
Whether it's obedience training or working alongside their owner, whatever it is, they need that outlet.
And finally, rounding out our top 10, we have the Australian Cattle Dog. Now, I have a feeling these guys are more than just pretty faces.
Oh, for sure. They're known for being really intelligent, high energy, and obviously exceptional herders, problem solvers by nature. And they're incredibly focused on their tasks.
So I'm guessing they need a lot of mental and physical stimulation to stay happy.
Absolutely. They're not couch to potatoes. They need a job to do. Herding, agility training, anything that challenges their minds and bodies.
So we've covered the top 10, but I'm curious, what are some of the big takeaways here about canine intelligence in general?
That's a great question, and it's what we're going to dive into next.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Okay, so we've met some of the brainiest pups out there, but what does all this tell us about dog intelligence in general?
Well, I think one of the most important takeaways is that intelligence, it's not a one-size-fits-all kind of thing, even in dogs.
Right. It's not just about how quickly they learn sit or stay.
Exactly. It's about recognizing the different ways that dogs think, the different ways they solve problems.
We wouldn't judge a fish on its ability to climb a tree.
Exactly. And just like with people, dogs have their own strengths and weaknesses.
So some dogs might excel at spatial reasoning, like our border collie navigating that agility course. Right. And others might be masters of, say, olfactory intelligence, like those Labrador retrievers who are so good at scent tracking.
So instead of asking, is my dog smart? Maybe the question is, what is my dog smart at?
I love that. And that brings us to another important point, which is training.
Because even the smartest dog needs a little guidance, right?
Absolutely. No matter how naturally intelligent a dog is, they need that guidance, that structure to really thrive.
It's like giving them the tools to unlock their full potential.
Exactly. And training helps build that bond between you and your dog, teaches them important life skills, provides an outlet for all that mental energy.
It's not just about obedience commands, it's about enriching their lives.
Right, exactly.
And something else to keep in mind, even within a breed, you're going to find a range of personalities and learning styles, just like people.
Absolutely. Every dog is an individual. You can't just, lump all golden retrievers or all poodles together.
Some might be those eager learners who pick up new things right away. And then others might need a bit more patience, a little more positive reinforcement.
Exactly.
So getting to know your dog's personality is just as important as knowing their breed.
Absolutely. Understanding their quirks, their strengths, maybe even their weaknesses. It all helps you tailor your approach.
And speaking of those differences, the research suggests that a breed's history actually plays a role in shaping their intelligence.
Oh, that's a really fascinating area. You look at, for example, the Doberman Pinscher, a bred for protection.
Yeah.
They're naturally alert, focused, quick to react.
So those protective instincts, they're not just random, they're part of what makes a Doberman a Doberman.
Exactly. And understanding that history helps us appreciate those different ways breeds express their intelligence.
Yeah.
Like a herding dog, for example.
Like the Australian cattle dog.
Yeah. They might be amazing problem solvers in a herding context, but those skills, you can apply them to other areas too with the right training.
So it's almost like they're hardwired with a certain set of skills, but it's up to us to help them adapt those skills to different situations.
Precisely. And finally, we can't forget the importance of engagement, especially for these intelligent breeds.
Right, because a bored dog, well, that's often a dog that gets into trouble.
Exactly. So even if you don't have a border collie running agility courses, every dog needs mental stimulation.
So things like puzzle toys, interactive games, scent work,
Yep, all of that.
even just a good old-fashioned game of hide and seek.
Exactly. It's all about keeping those brains engaged.
And it makes sense, right? Even we humans get a little restless if we aren't mentally stimulated. So really, what we've learned is that canine intelligence is multifaceted.
It really is.
It's about understanding the unique ways that dogs think and learn and interact with the world.
And it's about recognizing that every dog, no matter their breed, no matter their background, has the potential to learn and grow and amaze us.
I think we're ready to wrap things up. What are your final thoughts on our deep dive into dog intelligence?
Well, I don't know about you, but I feel like I've got a whole new appreciation for just how amazing dogs are.
Me too.
We've really gone beyond those basic top 10 lists and gotten into like the nuts and bolts of how their brains work.
It's pretty incredible, right? All those different types of intelligence.
And it's not just about, being a brainiac. It's about understanding how we can help them thrive.
Exactly. Training isn't just about obedience. It's about giving them the tools to be their best selves.
And to navigate our world, which, let's face it, can be pretty confusing sometimes, even for us humans.
Totally.
So thinking about all this, I actually have a little challenge for you and for anyone listening.
Okay, I like a challenge.
If you had to design like the ultimate canine intelligence test, what would it look like?
Ooh, that's a good one. It definitely couldn't just be about simple commands, right?
No, we got to think bigger.
We'd have to tap into all those different types of intelligence we've been talking about. Exactly. So problem-solving skills, for sure. Their ability to read human cues, their memory. How good is their sense of smell?
Ooh, maybe even a little obstacle course.
Yeah.
Something that combines physical agility with mental puzzles.
Oh, I love that. Okay, and here's another layer to the challenge. What if the test wasn't just about how well the dog performs, but also how well the owner understands their dog?
Oh, interesting. So like, does the owner know their dog's strengths, their weaknesses? Do they know how to motivate them?
Exactly, because a big part of nurturing their intelligence is understanding how they learn best.
It's like being a good coach, you got to know your players.
Right. So to everyone listening, I challenge you to think about what your dog's ultimate intelligence test would be. What would really showcase their unique brilliance?
And even if you don't create a whole, official test, just observing your dog can teach you so much.
Like, pay attention to their little quirks, how they approach different situations.
You'll be amazed at what you discover.
It's all about appreciating the amazing diversity of canine intelligence and really celebrating what makes each dog special.
Well said.
It's been so much fun exploring this topic with you. And to all our listeners, no matter what kind of dog you have, whether they're a herding champion or a scent tracking superstar or just the best cuddle buddy in the world, their intelligence is something to be cherished.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us for another deep dive.